comfortable and look for the causes of supraventricular tachycardia. Usually this is very harmless tachycardia. Then comes to VT or VF. VT is also one of the tachycardia which is life-threatening and lead to VF if it is not intervened on time. So what is VT? This is broad complex tachycardia. In that there is a regular pattern of QRS complex, but the QRS complex is broad as compared to the when we see in supraventricular tachycardia, that QRS complex duration is narrow. Here it is broad, and this is called as monomorphic VT, where all the components are uniformly distributed over the rhythm strip. And if it is like this is coming like this in waves. This is called as torsades de pointes. So if it is not treated with the drugs or shock therapy, it will lead to VF. So what is VF? VF is like quivering of the heart. Heart is not able to pump enough blood to the body, and patients are hemodynamically unstable, and ultimately they will lead to asystole if not treated. Then comes to ST segment elevation and depression. So many a times patient comes to MI हो गया, कौन सा MI हो गया, NSTEMI है, STEMI है. Of course there are biomarkers available to differentiate between STEMI and NSTEMI, but by checking the rhythm strip, how will you say that this is ST segment elevation? So this is a normal ST segment. In ST segment elevation, the ST segment will be elevated. There are so many morphologies of ST segment elevation, but in a nutshell, you can remember that ST segment will be elevated in STEMI. And in depression, this is a normal ST segment. In such case, this ST segment will be below the isoelectrical line. This is above the isoelectrical line, this is below the isoelectrical line. Easy to understand? Then comes to electrolyte abnormalities, hyperkalemia. So this is a normal sinus rhythm. In hypokalemia, flat T waves, or you can say that the levels of potassium are changed. Suppose at 5.5, the T waves, suppose at normal level of potassium is 3.5 to 5.5. If the patient level is 3.4, so the T waves will not be that much flatter as compared to the potassium level of 2.5. So they will vary, the amplitude of T wave varies with the serum level of potassium also. So flattening of T wave will be seen in hypokalemia, and elevated T waves will be seen in hyperkalemia. So sometimes in hyperkalemia what happens? The heart rate will be shown as 100, but these T waves will be calculated as a heart rate while monitoring the ECG. So false heart rate can be seen in ECG. So you should be aware of whether the patient's potassium level is raised, and these are actual the T waves which are counted while monitoring the heart rate. Then comes to the hypercalcemia. This is called as the QT interval. In hypercalcemia, this area is short. This is a normal area. Like you can say that this is QT interval. This area is short in hypercalcemia. This is prolonged in hypocalcemia. Then comes to the PVCs. These are premature ventricular contractions which are result of electrolyte abnormalities and other changes in ICU. So this is an example of PVC. This is the normal sinus rhythm, but only premature ventricular contraction is seen. So how does it look like? This is not followed by any P wave. This is a ventricular contraction which has generated in between any of the sinus rhythm. And the terminologies associated with PVCs are if one PVC along with one normal PQRST complex, this is called as bigeminy, because it is making one duplex. Like this, one duplex, second, third, fourth, fifth. So one normal complex followed by one PVC, one normal complex followed by one PVC. It is called as bigeminy. And in trigeminy, two normal complexes followed by one PVC, two followed by one PVC. This is called as trigeminy. And in quadrigeminy, there will be these three normal complexes followed by one PVC. This is called as quadrigeminy. And after this quadrigeminy, the rhythm completely changes, and there can be multiple PVCs in a line where you cannot differentiate after how many normal complexes one PVC can be seen. Then there are some artifacts while monitoring ECG. They can be normal. Patient can be absolutely normal, but because of these interferences, the monitoring or the recording cannot be appropriate. Like this, you can see this is because of electrical interference. This is also because of electrical interference. These are the muscle tremors. Suppose patient is lying down but having problem with the muscle tremors, muscle fasciculations are happening. So that is why those currents are also captured by the ECG machine. So they comes like this. This is Wandering baseline. Normally, the normal ECG has a proper isoelectrical line. If isoelectrical line is disrupted, this is called as Wandering baseline. The baseline is completely disrupted. So take home message from ECG is like for the nurses. These are the golden rules to remember. Do proper skin preparation to avoid artifacts. Correctly place the ECG leads. Monitor ECG recording and patient simultaneously. Suppose the rhythm is showing that patient is having asystole. And what is your first prompt action? Check leads, not CPR. So think critically and correlate with other investigations. So especially while monitoring the changes in ECG because of electrolyte abnormalities, you should see the serum levels also, and early recognize and intervene the dangerous arrhythmia.